Final of the lower bracket where we have DK going up against IG. I am Toby1 and joining me is Cinderin. We are your casting duo, going to take you all the way up to the grand final. Sinman, a couple of Chinese teams to eliminate, only one's been removed. We can guarantee one's going to go out right now. But IG, DK, IG, you got to say through this entire tournament they've looked really, really strong. DK last night though, I know they impressed you.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen IG going from a 13-1 group stage first off, only dropping a game to eHome in that group stage. Then they followed through, played really solidly in the beginning. Were knocked down here by Na'Vi, which was a 2-1 for Na'Vi, where IG completely demolished Na'Vi in the first game we should have. So they've been playing some really impressive Dota 2. On the other hand, DK did seem a little more shaky in the group stage, had some losses that you might not have expected them to when you see how they're playing now, but they've really picked up their game during the tournament. We saw yesterday against Zenith, there was just a really one-sided game. I was expecting that one to be a nail-biter, but DK just completely took that one by storm. So DK really impressed me, like you say, and this one, I think if you were looking at earlier in the tournament, you would definitely say IG was the favorite, but I'm not so sure right now how big of a favorite IG actually is. I would still put them as the favorite, but not by a big margin anymore. That
is true. IG, they could be a little bit shaken from their loss yesterday as well. Luckily for them, though, this is not a best-of-1 lower bracket match. This is a best-of-3 matchup. All the matches now will be best-of-3s until the grand final, which is a best-of-5. So the teams, one mistake isn't going to knock them out, but they really, at this level, you can't afford to make that mistake. You want to have this first game, you want to go in the second game and not have this enormous pressure on you, knowing that if you lose it, you're out.
Yeah, I mean, it's always important to try to get that 1-0 advantage, but as it is in the best of 3, it is the 2 games that win. And as we saw yesterday, Na'Vi, even with the first game complete crush, they managed to pull it back and take the next 2. So having a 1-game advantage is, of course, an advantage, but it's not really more than that. You still need to win the next game. Of course, you can have some sort of momentum going, but you can lose that momentum just as fast. If the second game goes wrong, then you can say who has the momentum for the third game. Then it's probably the team that won the second game. So it can flip really quickly. Let's have a look at the draft, because we're actually pretty much well underway here. IG got the Radiant side and the first pick in this game, DK on the Dire. IG banning out Lycan, Siren as well as Darkseer as the first pick. This is something we usually see the second pick doing, but IG are like, we're not really sure if we're first or second pick, apparently.
Well, it seems to be a lot of teams that just don't really want to run the Lycan themselves because it just doesn't fit with their lineup. But they also don't want to go against it because some other teams, it works for them. And DK, well, it's easy enough to fit them into their lineup. They've got enough skill, enough dynamicness, that kind of word, to run him into any kind of lineup. But yeah, in this case, he's not there. Brood Prophet as well as Rubik being taken out by DK. So we're just looking for that lane push to be removed, as well as Rubik. He's been like that. Well, not the unsung hero as far as the international goes, but I think he's definitely laying there a little bit under the radar for just how awesome he is. Unfortunately, no Enigma this game, as well as Enchantress being removed as well.
Yeah, I mean, I've got to say this Brood ban coming out as first ban for DK is a respect ban toward IG. They were playing amazingly with that yesterday on Ferrari. Really taking control of the 2 games he had Broodmothering. I think the first one was against Na'Vi, and the second one was the last one they played in the loser bracket yesterday, which would have been against eHome? eHome.
eHome,
yeah.
Yeah, I did that one, so yes, eHome.
Yes, and I mean, it's a good ban coming out from DK, and it's also a very good pick against their style, the Broodmother, because what DK likes to run, they like to run that easy lane hard carry on Burning and support him really well, but Broodmother can force those supports to move around, and that's going to move the safety away from Burning, and that's, if there's one thing DK don't want, it's to have Burning not farming. That's the main part of their strategy, is that the supports are there for him to get his fast Battle Fury up, as it's going to be in this game on the Anti-Mage. If it's Morphling, get his fast E-Blade or whatever he's building on that one up. So yeah, that's a really good ban for them. Banning out Enigma, as you said, as well as Templar Assassin now, pretty much a directed ban going Ferrari's way. It's a hero DK played really well as well. We saw Super yesterday just really wrecking with that hero too, but they choose to ban it out this time, while IG ban out Enchantress as well as Veno. Enchantress directed ban at long DD. And IG's plan in this, we've got to say, when they get the Chen and they ban the Enchantress, they want to be dominating the woods. They want to take control and play aggressively, and perhaps we might even see IG going up against DK on that trial lane, forcing them, trying to challenge them with the Chen, plus CK, plus perhaps any sort of secondary stun. But they're going to take their Queen of Pain first, so that's probably going to be a solo bottom, I guess they might throw that Morphling mid. They usually do that IG.
The Morphling with the Wraith Band and the pooled regen. But it's you are kind of right. Like if it could be an aggressive tri-lane coming out from IG, got Chaos Knight and Chen. So if they have one extra like chain stunner, like even if it's just like the Ancient Apparition to combine up with this one, then maybe they would be looking at that aggressive lane up on the top. Queen of Pain and Morphling, we both know they can solo. Queen of Pain on the bot lane, a lot safer to solo down there. And you've always got your escape mechanism, and then you've got Morphling, who can also have an escape mechanism, very, very elusive. And I think DK were also thinking the same thing. Banning out the Templar Assassin kind of feels like it was just, well, what's Ferrari going to take solo mid and then get like 21 for 0 on, and that would be the Templar Assassin. But it looks like we get our 4th pick up from DK as well. So they get the Windrunner, which I'm actually going to be happy about this one because I don't believe we're going to have an off-lane Tidehunter in this case because, well, every time I've been casting it, it's always struggled so hard.
I am actually not sure about that just yet. We have seen, especially Chinese teams playing support Windrunner in the past, and it could be a good pickup here as well. Windrunner as that support hero has good attack animation, high damage, great harasser, can always take that one-on-one against whatever she's up against because of the Windrun. And once you get that Shackle Shot leveled up, it's a great initiation and a great counter-initiation, not least on that lane.
Shadow Demon's the final one.
For IG is going to be Shadow Demon here. Very surprising for me. I'm not sure.
This isn't for an aggressive tri-lane then. This is more to catch out the Windrunner.
Yeah.
Because if you're going to go for an aggressive tri-lane, you're looking for an extra stunner. All right, so CM will be the last one for DK.
And it is support Tide. Long DD.
Okay.
So you're right.
Yeah, so I am happy, but of course we've got to watch him very, very closely, see where he gets his levels, and if he is just babysitting Burning for DK up on that top lane and Zippo doing the same thing, they can rotate around, they can look for ganks, but that top lane as well, it's going to be difficult to stand on that top lane. Because, in fact, almost in this case, you might even think, well, who's going to go our solo top right now for IG? Because you're dealing with a Gush, you're dealing with a Nova, and that's just level 1. Then you've got to add a Frostbite into the level 2 as well, plus Birding, who you know is going to blink on you and really, really jump hard, burn all your mana, and you won't get out of there. Yeah,
I'm also a little bit curious about IG's idea behind this, because they might also just try to flip it around and be like, okay, we'll let Burning farm. We let Burning farm, but we do it to farm a Morphling, to farm a Chaos Knight, and we have Shadow Demon's Disruption against Anti-Mage later on to get those mana-burning illusions. Of course, Demonic Purge is a good spell to have as well. Sure, Anti-Mage can blink around, but if you Demonic Purge him, he can blink and do one hit, and then you can just run away from him and get that distance. That's really important against him. So I'm interested to see how IG are going to lane this, and I'm not sure if it's a good idea for them to try and challenge DK on their farm, because that lane top, like you say, is going to be really strong, and we have to expect that's what they do, because it's pretty much what they do every single game, so it's pretty predictable. And IG, on the other hand, usually very predictable as well, but they might mix it up a little bit against DK here with their lanes, but looks like they are indeed. Let's have a look. We're going to have, by the looks of it, Joe. They have pulled that regen. He's going to play the Morphling solo mid, by the looks of it. Then we've got Chuan playing his Chen. Faith on the Shadow Demon, YYF on Chaos Knight, and finally Ferrari will be playing that Queen of Pain. Let me hear it. Who is cheering for IG? Are you alive out there?
No, I think the IG fans are pretty good out there, but you got to remember too, like Sean, everyone's a fanboy of that guy. He can play basketball as well as play Dota. But yeah, for the guys out there who are still awake and have made their way down here in Seattle live to the event, or if you're on the live stream watching, I know there's a whole bunch of pub stomps going on out there. There's pitches flying out for that little sucker as well. If you are cheering for DK, including the guys out in the pubs, let us hear some noise for DK.
Sounds like DK is a crowd favorite by a small amount. I believe you didn't introduce the players on the hero, so I'll do that very, very quickly. If you are surprised that Burning is playing AM, make some noise. All right, nobody's surprised. Good.
Fantastic.
We've got
Well
Zippo
done.
playing as Crystal Maiden, Long DD on the Tidehunter. Super will be playing the Invokers solo mid, and finally ROTK, ever so faithful on that off lane with his Windrunner.
Yeah, he is, and looks like Ferrari is going to take that bot lane, and he did get the first rune as well, Invis rune, already IG. The battle for map control begins, and as Faith, who was trying to do the job, he manages to D-ward, but he still leaves one observer ward there right next to his own sentry ward, so he mustn't have vision up on that high ground to pick that off. How are we looking at bottom lane? Man, ROTK already going down a lot by Ferrari. Ferrari, he is really, really close to tick over. Here goes the stout by ROTK. Do not underestimate the Queen of Pain.
5 HP.
Living life on the edge, man. It's calculated. Now Zhou also having a crack at Super in the middle lane. He still had that waveform if he wanted to jump it, but going up against a Quas Invoker, he just wasn't quite sure about it, especially considering the Invoker. He does have that Cold Snap and loves to pop it off on a Morphling, just decides to wave in and then loses his escape mechanism. Yeah, that's how it always is against Invoker when you're playing one-on-one mid. That initiating on Invoker is always very scary because he can pay back the damage really quickly and really hard, but on the other hand, if you don't choose to challenge him, you can just try to get some good farm. You see, Zhou is already 17 damage ahead because he's morphed a lot into agility. He's got the Wraith Band as well, and Super only sitting on those 50 damage points. So Zhou is doing a good job here in the mid to begin with. Actually, neither of them getting a lot of farm, but Zhou still with a marginal lead. IG might be looking for a little bit of fun here, but Zippo stopping not putting that Frostbite in the Ursa Warrior, so there was no real way for Sean to get some kind of initiation on long DD. But they're trying to screw with a little pull coming out from DK. Invoker, man, you are low, and Zhou managed to bring him down. So Morphling getting the first blood in the middle lane. And this is a big, big boost for Zhou, and this should never happen for the Invokers. There must have been some sort of misplay here, and that's going to be a problem for DK, because I think, you know, they're choosing to farm their anti-mage up top and guard him a lot, so if their strong solo mid Invoker is losing out to Morphling this hard, then they might have to reinforce later on, and that's going to leave Burning vulnerable at one point. But for now, he's definitely not looking vulnerable. He's leading the last hits by far. 14 for 7, 2.5 minutes in. Second from the top is Morphling with 6-3. Yeah, they're just going to abandon the top lane a little bit, which is not really what YYF wants. He's going to have to just sit as close as he can, get as much experience as he can, because Sean, he's already moved now into the Radiant jungle, and, well, Faith, he'll try and stay up here as long as he possibly can, but if they can't find anything on this top lane, if they can't get close in on Burning, you just got to say there's got to be little to no point in really keeping many heroes up in the top lane, maybe even just switching out Ferrari so he can jump up there. He's got some decent levels already, got his escape mechanism, but I think he's just having too much fun with ROTK. Blinking up now, puts the sting out. He's now a little bit short of mana for Scream. He's got it now too. ROTK really fighting on close. Ferrari so close to the Scream! 4 HP! Ferrari, the raw calculation. And bringing down the Windrunner on the bot lane. Doesn't get closer than that. What a bold move by Ferrari to actually blink in, and he's like, okay, I've bought my bottle, whatever. Might as well get a free ride back to base. He bought a bottle and a TP. He's going to suicide to the neutrals, get up fast, and TP out with 4 HP and mana again. Meanwhile, up top, looks like IG really want to make it count up on this lane. And I want to point out how important Crystal Maiden is for this with that Frostbite, because whenever Chuan comes in with that creep, it just gets frostbitten by Zippo, and IG lose their initiation with that Troll Warlord, or what did they have the last time? The Ursa. They can't really find the opening up here, and they tried to challenge Burning on his farm, but it's going horrendously wrong. Burning completely free farming. Meanwhile, YYF only sitting on 9 and 1. So this top lane investment so far for IG has not been worth it, and they need to make something happen up here as soon as possible. They're trying to. I think it's actually half the reason why Sean went down to his own jungle. It wasn't just to farm, it wasn't just to abandon the top lane like I thought it was. It was to find a creep that allows him to initiate from range, to get that troll trap out. Now he also finds, he's only got one. In fact, he lets the troll the troll go and does pick up the Ursa again. So difficult to get yourself in range. Like, you get that trap off, then you can catch out your support heroes. Faith just doing any kind of harassment to push Burning back, but he avoids his own replicates and runs away from it, and he's fine. The creep wave, it now comes in. He shouldn't even miss the last hit. Who are you thinking all for? Long DD, taking a lot of damage, but he will get out. Is there a turnaround? There is. Burning, going on Faith, will not be sent home by Chen. And now Chuan is on the run as well. Zippo has another Frostbite. Burning does not succeed in blocking here. Now he will. He's trying to get around, will get the block off. Damage going down. Burning will get away from this one as well. Faith's not done just yet. There goes that little disruption. Burning going to be burnt, but long DD as well as Zippo coming in. YYF, he's going to have some fun. There goes Real misses on CM. Now she gets it in. Is there a stun? Not enough mana. Zippo's back up again. Long DD removing all the damage with the one anchor smash. They just could not chain it off. And now Burning, he's thinking about diving this one, going straight back past the T1 tower. Faith is on the run from Burning. One swipe, Windrunner still killing Queen of Pain on the bot lane, and Burning will let it go. But YYF, he's still on this tower, and Burning can have a lot more fun with this one. But he won't. He'll fall himself back a little bit further. I think Faith's actually thinking about having some fun with him, but at the end of the day, it doesn't happen. And Queen of Pain, he did die in that bot lane, and looks like Morphling's having fun with Super here in the mid lane. Cold Snap, it is on cooldown. Now the Replicate, he's right behind him. If Joe wants to dive this one onto the Replicate, he can do so. But at the end of the day, he doesn't. I think he wanted that Replicate just to tank up the tower. Maybe on top lane, there's disruption, but Burning, so easy to get away. Yeah, blinks away from that one instantly, and this was a huge play from DK, getting kills on 2 lanes at once.
The Windrunner, who had already died on the bottom lane, takes back the lane against Ferrari, who came back with full HP and mana as well, so it must have been a really impressive play by ROTK there, but up top, DK just maximizing on that fight. They got 2 kills for nothing. And, well, if this challenging lane from IG is not working out, we just know how out of control Burning will get. So they better have something farmed up to prepare for him. And
man, watch your bot lane right now. Haystroon just running straight past the tower. Waveform up. ROTK's on the run with the Wind Run, but Joe can keep up with him. Now Wind Run's up, so the right clicks will hit. Shackle is only a mini stun. He's still got more time on this Haystroon, so kill on the bot lane. But Joe, he's still got to get himself back out of here.
Yeah, it doesn't look like there's any TP coming in for Joe, so he's going to be just fine, get out. But this was an expensive kill for him. He's almost out of HP and mana, so we'll probably have to go back to base. There's no rune for him to claim because he already claimed it, the haster in there. And that's going to give Super some much-needed space here in the mid lane to recover after that first blood from Morphling. And oh, it actually looks like he has recovered nicely. Super is second on the CS. He actually passed the Morphling here.
Yeah, 23 for 14. Morphling goes for a long run around the block and does find a kill, but it is just one of those things where you leave the lane, the farm still continues. It depends who's there. And Burning, man, what is even his goal per minute this early on? 323, and we're only 7 minutes into the game. He's just racking it up, and once that Battle Fury hits, we just know how fast Burning is able to shoot through the roof with these last hits. And he has been sort of pressured by CK on the top lane, but YYF, it's not the controlling Chaos Knight we're used to seeing. Not that Chaos Knight that you fear coming in close, because that Reality Rip pulls you out of position, then you get the 4-second stun, then the rest of the world basically comes down on top of you after CK is already initiated. That's just not the case up on the top lane. Burning just doesn't give 2 hoots. And we might go on Zippo, or Zippo gets nice Frost on Faith. Gush to follow up, and Burning comes in. 2 right clicks, 1-second stun, but tied with the Anchor Smash. Able to finish the job.
Yeah, I was about to say, this Shadow Demon pick surprised me.
Oh, Joe! Waves up, he's come in! They get the kill actually on the Crystal Maiden, but Burning, he's low. Now the Replica pulls him back. He's forced to run away, realizing he'll get all the mana drained out of him, then there'll be no blinks to go, and YYF have to get a little bit more time for another stun. Time which Burning did not allow. Yeah,
and this is a good show up from Joe, because this top lane is definitely not going IG's way. I was about to say the Shadow Demon pick surprised me a little bit with the idea of challenging here, because he's actually not really that strong of a hero for challenging this kind of lane. Could have
he's more of he's an insurance hero more than anything.
Yeah, it would have been better to have like some sort of direct stun or high damage output instead of a controlling hero like Shadow Demon with that disruption, because they can't bring down Burning, so he's not scared
of
the
bot lane, man. Look for the bot lane. That Troll's going to get the trap. Oh, Sean pulls it back at the last moment, deciding not to go for it. Ferrari's got more than enough burst damage to kill that Windrunner.
Yeah, ROTK still getting a fair chunk of farm as well as levels here on that bottom lane, playing against one of the strongest solo heroes in the game, and he's doing just fine. Arguably, he is one of the strongest solo heroes as well with Windrunner, so no big surprise there. But it's going very, very well for DK right now, I have to say. They're getting good farm, they're getting good levels, and it's showing on the graph right now that they have an advantage now top. IG looking for something, but not really going to find it. And now they've changed their, alright, this pole top is destroying us, we need to block it.
Yep.
And they've placed
Burning,
blocking
wave up,
9 minutes.
Faith, he needed to get that little hit in. Needed to be YYF following up with the stun directly after, but just unable to latch it.
Long DD, he's hanging around with that level 3 Gush and 2 Anchor Smash. Has chosen not to scale Kraken Shell yet. Now YYF is coming around. Are we going to see a clash here? Yes, we are. They're going on long DD.
Only 1 second for the stun. The Casher does latch though, and then the waveform over. Joe's able to get the kill. Disruption as well, going to pull Anti-Mage out and make him think twice about it. Even the Replica as well. So 3 Anti-Mages now fighting on the side of IG, and the Replica starts going on Zippo. Get rid of that support mana so there'll be less stuns. Long DD already back now up on the top lane. He directly bought back so he can be back up here. And Ferrari 4-3-0 has now joined the top lane. So 4 heroes from IG will start to assemble. Burning already popping off his stick charges. He knows he's going to need all the life and mana he's got.
This could be a really big play for DK. Long DD is going to get level 6 in the fog right now, and if IG don't realize this and try to go for a fight, they could be taken by surprise right now. YYF is hanging around the side. They're going for it. This is going to be horrible for IG, I think.
2 second stuns. Joe's coming in, and will he get the waveform in? Ravage is already hit, and it hits hard. Ferrari gets at least 1 ulti off, but IG on really low life. Anti-Mage able to pick off Queen of Pain on the side. Joe now being knocked down by Super. 1 right click. The Tornado will die from the fall. Meanwhile, back in the main fight, Burning has got a double kill. This is horrible now for IG. Sean, the only one to survive because he was in mid lane.
Just goes to show the power of that surprise effect of having a Ravage out of nowhere. IG wasn't aware of it. They saw, okay, Tide's level 5, we can go. Oh, wait, he's level 6, what are we doing? And that Ravage hits on 3 heroes. They get the full combo off from everybody else, and 4 kills going to FDK for nothing. YYF coming in. This is not going to bring them anything.
Shadow Demon able to get a disruption off, but he cannot get a proper catch when the Dark Creep Wave is there. So Burning able to get himself back to safety.
Yeah, and good play by Burning here to blink downwards. He could tell that YYF was running upwards to try and Reality Rift him back again after the blink, and Burning knows what's going to happen. We'll just blink the opposite direction and get out of there from there. So good play by him. And how are we looking for him as well? 50 CS?
And 3 kills for Nil with 2 assists.
3 kills and 2 assists. That's... No team in the world wants to give Burning this style.
No, I don't think, and no team in the world wants to give Burning anti-mage, but IG allowed it to get through. But you can't ban everything against him. They were talking about it before backstage, and I was like, well, what are you really going to do when you got Burning on the team? You can't ban every hard carry. He's been an experienced enough player. He's got enough of a repertoire of heroes that it wouldn't be too bad if you banned out all the hard carries. He'll find one. Yeah, and we can see Void or Spectre even come back if he needs to.
We could if it was a good pick. We could definitely see DK picking up a hero like Void, which I don't even think we've seen once in this tournament. But yeah, like you say, DK, especially the way DK play, there's so many heroes they can get for Burning. You can't really ban all the hard carries, because when you're playing this 4 Protect 1 style, almost any carry will go, because he has so much support that you can really help him on that lane. Meanwhile, in mid, IG starting to put a lot of pressure. Long DD.
3 seconds stun on him. Ferrari Scream. Has he got ulti as well? No, he doesn't. 16 seconds cooldown. Long DD. He's not going to tick from this one. YYF won one last hit. Now a great shuckle by RTK. Holding YYF in the gush as well as the right click. Hand of goal from Chon. But Burning is here. He couldn't send him back in time. The anti-mage arrives. And CK goes down. They came so close to picking up that Tidehunter. I agree with IG too. They want to push the mid lane, but DK, they saw IG starting to gain an advantage as far as gold goes. They took a tier 1, they're looking at the tier 2 as well, and they instantly come in to shut down IG's plans.
Yeah, it's what they have to do as well. IG is a team that's very good at pushing down the towers with just minimal advantage. Right now, they don't really have an advantage, but they still have good pushing heroes and good fighters, so they really want to try and take this fight to DK, especially with that Ravage on cooldown, as it was at that point probably after the top fight. But DK, quick response. YYF getting a little over-aggressive. Thought he could get that tied with just one last Reality Rift, but it turned out he was very greedy, and they almost lose their own tier 1 in the mid now for DK punching back.
TPs were coming in, but YYF just not there in time. Maybe he can think about it right now for Burning. Faith in Cold Snapped as well as the Frost. There goes 1 second stun on Burning. Not what YYF wants. Not to mention be shackled again there by RTK. Then the Ravage from Long DD. Sean's caught on the edge. Ferrari might want out in a moment. Morphling waving over the top of Super. They've already lost 2. RTK again looking for the shackle. He can get it right now. If it's on cooldown, yes it is. If he's on the run right now, he's not quite sure he wants to fight up against the Morphling. In fact, all of DK is on the run. Ferrari 4-3-0. Ulti is down, but he has Blink to Scream. And RTK on that low life, he's really not sure he wants to stay that close.
Yeah, an amazing juke by Chuan there to stay alive. I'm not sure if you caught it on camera, but completely tricked the Windrunner in that little bit of forest we're looking at right here. He just ran in that block and hid inside the woods here, so Windrunner thought she had him. He cornered her there and got out, but still a really good fight for DK. They get 2-0 again on the back of that Ravage. Might be looking at the tier 1 middle tower as well. Looks like they want to put some pressure, but I don't think they will accomplish this just yet. And Burning's back farming top. He's almost got the Battle Fury as well, mind you. It's 14 minutes in. He needs 600.
Say that's slow for Burning, isn't it?
Oh, he's got treads as well this time around. When he gets that 11-minute Battle Fury, it's with just boots of speed, or even without boots sometimes if he can get it really fast and without any trouble. But he's realized he might have to go for a little bit of early combat build here with those power treads. When there's a trial lane against you, you really want to be able to fight early on, and if you go for a naked Battle Fury, you're not really that good at fighting. Yeah. This attack speed and movement speed has been working wonders for him. That's the reason he's got this 4-0-3 now as well.
Yeah. So, smart decisions all around. YYF, at least he's finding some levels as well. Now up to level 7, so he puts the 4 into the bolt, just praying. And you got to say YYF, he's been unlucky for the amount of stun times. Like we're seeing 1 second, we're seeing 2 seconds, and basically, I don't think I've seen a single 4. We've got a 3 come out from him. And then RTK always finding the great position to lock him down as well, finding those trees to shackle him too. Never find the double hero lockdown, but always getting CK out of position. And Queen of Pain, I think Ferrari really does want to jump in, but his low life, he's walking around now with strength traits. Even Intel doesn't want to really keep that up. He's like, I need to live through these fights, but DK, they got so much damage and he cannot stand close to anti-mage or else he'll be out of mana, and then he loses all maneuverability, loses the ability for his combo, and well, he's just a walking, very, very soft right-clicker then.
Yeah, and it's also what you say about Queen of Pain wanting to blink in. It's the way we see DK drafting in general. They're always drafting counter-initiation heroes that if you want to go in, you better be prepared because you're going to pay. If you want to go in against a Ravage, against a Tornado, against a Shackle Shot, your positioning needs to be completely perfect and you need to get an amazing initiation. And another hero DK like to get when they don't get that Windrunner. Oh, denied by Joe. What a play. And meanwhile, it's bottom tower goes to IG. Really good play by them here. They get some position now on the map getting that bottom tier 1 tower, but they get to play their mid one. But yeah, like I was saying, when DK don't get their hands on that Windrunner, they like to pick up the Beastmaster as well because it's just allows them to play the fights like they want. If a team like IG wants to go in on them, and IG love to play aggressively, it's so hard to go in on this lineup because who do you go on? Do you go on the Tide, you get Shackled. Do you go on someone else, you get Ravage. And Invoker always standing that 800 range behind, ready to drop that high-level Tornado and give them some breathing space to get up the Ravage.
Just go on the Windrunner man on the bot lane because they've already smoked. There's Reality Rip. Going to go with that stun. 3 seconds this time around. TP support's going to come in. Quad body. They want to kill Avara. DK is going to live. The mech charge is going to be it. Oh, it's actually a sync charge. It might be enough. He still wants a 5 power shot through. Finally, the Windrunner does go down. Ferrari hiding inside the trees. Super's chasing him down. Ferrari blinks down. He's blocked. Will TP out.
Wow.
Super won't find him. He runs high. CM with the frost. But Ferrari, slippery little sucker on the bot lane.
And ROTK did actually take a fall there. The Demonic Purge, I think it was, if it wasn't Shadow Poison from Faith, did finish him off. I think it was the Demonic Purge killing him at the back end of play. So they do get that 1 for nil exchange. But nothing more coming out of that burning. Now finish that Battle Fury. Now his farming will really kick in. 90 CS in 17 minutes is actually not even that good for him. He's usually looking at more than 120 at this point, or around 120 if he has complete free farm. But he's been fighting a lot more than what he usually does. He's been around the map taking part in a lot of kills. Has a killer tendency of 7 out of 12, which is the second highest in his team, tied with CM, only surpassed by Tidehunter from Long DD, who's been everywhere with that Ravage.
Yeah.
And that's the price you pay. If you don't stand AFK and farm on your lane and you go for kills, of course you'll have less CS, but he's getting the gold from a different source, which is that kill and assist gold, as well as the towers that they've managed to take down. And right now,
I hope
DK,
you have a replicate.
This is trouble.
There's MP Morphling waves away up towards the high ground. Wonderful tornado combo here by Super. Burning wants to jump up. There's the replicate up. He's got nowhere to run to. Locked in place. Shackled up as well. DK able to pick off Morphling, who was really on the wrong side of the river.
Yeah, and I don't think this is just Morphling. This could also be Roshan, because DK, they know that they've taken down a hero right next to the Roche pit with 5 heroes here, and they immediately rotate in here. Burning gets an urn charge off from, is it Zippo? No, it's Long DD who's got an urn on that Tidehunter based on that wonderful early game he's played. He's got some good farm from the kills and assists here on that Tide, and this is going to be Roshan. I don't think IG can contest it without their Morphling, and this is just one smoke gank, giving a kill as well as a Roshan on the back of that, and paying nothing for it. They're not paying map control, no
IG's
towers.
coming in.
And there we go, Burning will get the Aegis of the Immortal, as well as hunting Assassin Creep. He's really angry right now, you can tell.
He's cool, calm, collective, man. He's burning. Like, this guy is phased by absolutely nothing.
Yeah, so far this game there's been nothing to bring him down, at least Shackle Shot.
He was attempting it. He was attempting to line it up with Ferrari.
And you can just tell, you can tell from IG's item choice how worried they are about the counter initiation coming out from DK. You see Queen of Pain going for BKB first, Morphling going for BKB first, which is something we've seen very, very little of in this tournament. But they know that without these BKBs, they simply can't go in. And how are you supposed to take a fight against DK if you let them farm up a full item anti-mage and can't really contest him on it earlier on? They just need to get these BKBs and try to get their fights, because they know they're fighting against time right now. Burning will farm faster than them. And CK hasn't had the early game he was hoping for. He's looking at 50 CS in 20 minutes compared to Burning's 110. Morphling is up there with his 91, but at the same time, Morphling's died twice and Burning's died 0 times.
Faith, gotta be really careful. Super comes out of his smoke. There goes the EMP. Needs a snap as well. He can't get in range. Now he does. Faith try and do anything he can. He's already dead. Ferrari, Rando ulti flying out from him. Then Long DD pops up with the Ravage. Hand of God trying to keep him up, but even Zippo dropping the CM's ulti right on top of IG. Joe maybe gonna go down YYF. Unable to do it, the stun from the neutrals. Super trying to bring down Joe, waving over the top. Actually, Joe might take this. Super going down. In the meantime, though, Windrunner has picked up the gen, but is Morphling finished with the rest of DK? A lot of abilities are down. Support's coming in. Actually, that's a replicate out from the side. So he does have a position to jump to. Yeah, IG want to go back in again. Ferrari's thinking about it. There's the replicant. Now into long DD. He's got no mana. Power shut out. Faith starts off with a disruption on the Windrunner. Joe, he wants to have a cracky going in long DD. Ferrari with the scream already. Maybe RTK fast enough to get away. Long DD's back as well. Support is coming in now for DK. Shackle will fly, and what a latch! Joe and Ferrari, they're locked in. Power shot will go. Tornado as well. Ferrari drops but blinks. He might get away. EMP burn. YYF's back in again. Bringing down the tide. Bringing down the CM. Now they're on to Zumba. 1, 2, and thrice. There goes another one. Double kill for Faith. DK lose 4. IG, they're trying to get themselves back into this one, gain some control in these fights.
Yeah, when I saw that Shackle shot and I saw the rebuy from Invoker already coming in and that he was following through, I thought DK was going to get at least 1 or 2 kills right there, but a brilliant turnaround. And arguably a little bit questionable Tornado coming out of Super here. He actually bought Queen of Pain time to get that blink off and get out in that Shackle shot. And eventually ends up being a terrible fight for them. The consolation prize is that Burning's got 3.5k gold. So at least he's farming meanwhile, and that's how DK are able to stay in the game even with mistakes, because Burning is just out farming them when he has that anti-mage. IG can't keep up with his pace, so even some mistakes DK can pay because they have that big carry, they have the big team fight, initiation, counter initiation as well. So IG have to be very, very cautious with how they're playing, but I have to say that fight IG just got there. I think it's a BKB for Morphling flying out just now on the back of that. Yeah, so that's their first BKB. And Queen of Pain, we're looking at an Ogre Club as well, 1,000 gold on her, so she's not far away from hers either. And when they start getting these BKBs up, it's going to be a lot more difficult for DK. Because
top lane, man.
That's
double damage rune now up on Ferrari.
Ravage is up in 10.
You were staring down long DD, you're right. The timing is perfect for DK. IG going to go on the assumption that Ravage is up when they want to fight this one, but RTK going to walk straight into YYF, Reality Rift, then going with a stun. Sentry Worlds go down as well. Right there goes your Phantasm, 4-star away. RTK up high, looking for a Shackle. Now going on Zippo. There's your Ravage hitting on Faith as well as on Chuan. The support's going down. Zippo will be brought down by YYF as well as Ferrari, and the BKB up on the Morphling, allowing him to stand next to that tight under. 1 extra stun, 4-second stun as well from YYF, but being cold snapped up. Won't run away from this one. Power shot from ROTK, picks him off. 3-for-1 trade going the way of DK. And Morphling will wave and probably TP out.
He doesn't have the mana yet.
He's just short. He'll be fine.
Yeah, nobody's checking for him. And there we go, he's going to TP out now, I think. Joe? Yeah.
Yeah. He waited a little bit longer than he needed to. And DK will deny the top tower as well.
Yeah, massive fight for them.
Mid lane.
One more slice. Okay, he had 12 sticks. He would probably have got away, but DK, they're hungry. And what has Burning got? A full Manta style, 23 minutes. That spells trouble for IG. It's good that they've got this BKB up on Morphling, because that's at least going to mean that the mana break won't hit through. And I also want to point out the build on Burning is what we usually see Burning go for when he's playing that easy lane anti-mage. He maxes off the blink, gets a couple of points in stats, so he's more tanky early on and has some good lane presence. Only 1 point in mana break. He's going to max spell shield before mana break right now, and that means that the illusions that Shadow Demon makes and the replicate Morphling makes they're not as strong as they could have been with a level 4 mana break here. And Burning just realizes that these illusions can cause his team a lot of trouble. So why bother? Just keep the spell on level 1, get enough mana drain, especially with that Manta style. Now that he has 3 of them, they're going to drain more than enough right now, and we'll get some powerful ultimates off. Especially considering IG's heroes, they have to use their mana pool anyway, so they will be throwing their spells, and that's going to open up for his mana void no matter what happens.
That is true. Basically, see CK pop his full combo when he's down at almost nothing, so they can play with that one. IG, they're going to play around with smoke. Morphling is here, but only in spirit is through the replicate, and they're going to look, maybe burning, get the stun in time! He blinks away. Super's here as well. There goes the 4-second stun, but EMP Tornado going through IOF. He's got nothing. Shackle will latch him as well. Destruction from SD will keep him alive for the moment. Stun on Burning, Hand of God, trying to keep IG in this fight. Burning alive, live the Purge. It's going to pop the Aegis to the Immortal. Can they do it all over again? DK is still here. Burning comes up. 3-second stun. 4 stopped away. Scream from Ferrari. Almost bringing down RTK. Lon DD's in the middle. 11 seconds on the Ravage. Faith going down. 13 now, nothing. He's out alive. Super's on the run too. Ferrari wants him as well as Joe. Blinging down. They pick him up. Shackled by RTK. And now 2 seconds on Burning. Might be enough. He blinks away to safety. Back with RTK. Maybe enough. Ravage up by Lon DD. And the Frost. Anti-Mage gets one. Sean and Joe are on the way back. God. And the Sun. Burning with another double kill. And send back to base. The last thing Sean could do for IG.
Long DD is just being unbelievable with his Tidehunter this game. You were saying it, 11 seconds until that Ravage. He's staying in the middle of the fight, tanking up whatever they're throwing at him. He knows he's a beast, 1500 HP, Anchor Smash to reduce that damage, and has the Cloak as well. And he's just standing in the middle of the fight being an absolute pestilence. And IG, they're not really sure when that Ravage is up. They don't have it timed down perfectly. And and the moment that comes up, this just turns into a disaster. And Burning, even with that 1/4 HP or whatever he had, stays at the edge of the fight, knowing that if there's an option that comes, he can blink in and get that Mana Void. And Ferrari just exploded from that Mana Void. And Power Shot from Windrunner from max range. DK, they're just playing an amazing game right now. And IG, they're trying. They're really trying, but they can't do it right now. And that Ages of the Immortal just worked wonders for DK as well. Burning, you could tell in that fight, he wanted to be initiated on. They wanted them. Come on, come at me. Let me see what you've got. And drew out the fight long enough to get a 4-0. 4-1, I think. We might have lost Super in that fight.
Yeah, one definitely did go down. We lost the Invoker. That was YYF and Ferrari picking him off a little bit further down the lane.
Now let's see, there's still smokes available. IG, they have a smoke hanging around here in that Courier, and might want to try and make another move right now, because now they know Ravage is down. They know for sure they've got like a minute buffer from now, and
there's tower time
they know as well that Anti-Mage doesn't have the Aegis, so if they can pull off a fight like what they did just before, but without the Aegis, they're probably going to win that fight this time around.
Yeah,
and they will force.
They've got all their ultis up again.
But look at top. It's going to be a trade-off if they go here.
Because Burning can push by himself. But the trades are going to be good. Maybe enough. There's Reality Rip trying to pull RTK in, but great EMP Tornado there by Super. Now Shadow Demon disrupting again to try and get YYF out of trouble and make more of him. Power shot by RTK. I think you see him another Shackle. He's got it off cooldown, but needs to catch up position. 4-staff maybe. 4-staff maybe. IG, they're on the way back. YYF thinks about having a bit of a stun, and there's your 4-staff down. They know CK's gone. Gonna find Faith. Get that Shackle. It flies the other way. Shackle won't lash. Then the Troll Trap will hold RTK up, but Faith will take a fall a little bit further out. And Sean is just running away.
And will you look at top, DK Burning managed to take half of that tier 3 as well. And they ported home the CK with that whole obturation from Chen, and Queen of Pain, Morphling ported home as well, and Burning still managed to take half of that tower before they really arrived and challenged him, and he's like, oh, you're back? Alright, I'll just farm your Ancients then. And he's now up to 200 CS, mark at 28, which again is it sounds ridiculous, but it's not really that much for Burning.
We're actually kind of getting used to it even.
We want to see that 200 CS at about the 22 mark for Burning when he has that free farm game. But I mean, come on, he's just been doing incredible fights as well, and definitely worth way more than that farm he could have had. All the presence he's had in the fights is really amazing, and is not just an AFK farming carry. He gets the farm when it's there, and he fights when it's needed.
Yeah.
And now DK, they're ready again. They have the Ravage up on Long DD. Long DD now as well, with a Hood of Defiance as well as Arcane Boots. He's going to be almost impossible to bring down. 1600 HP as well as that magic resistance. And with Kraken Shell up on level 4 as well, the 28 damage block and Kraken Shell proc. So even if they try to stun lock him, they can't prevent this Ravage.
Full BKB just bought on Burning.
And full Bodia. And there we go.
And we get a Roshan again.
And IG know it, and again, DK are like, come at us. We want to fight you.
At the same time, Queen of Pain buys her own Blink Dagger, BKB. I don't know if she's going to get there in time. RTK getting stunned off. I think Joe's just wanting to slow them down so Ferrari can get there in time. Now the Centaur. Burning jumps out. That's not the real champ, but he still wants to initiate. Now Burning pops the BKB. IG is going to fall back. Let that BKB go wasted. And Burning, I'm not quite sure he really wanted to hit that button. Now IG might think maybe we can take this. Stun again from the Adaptive Strike into ROTK. Gets himself an Urn Charge. And Roshan sitting at 1/3 of his normal life points. And nice little poison up the high ground. Wants to see what DK is planning for them up there. And maybe a bit of a standoff for IG. They're going to loop. They're going to loop around and see if they can come up behind DK. But they had a ward. They had a ward watching that smoke. They had vision. And DK are preparing. Look where Long DD is. He's inside the smoke. They will have no vision coming around that corner of him. Oh, maybe they will. There's one beautiful ward right here. So IG, they know DK's waiting for them. And they're trying to stall it off as long as they can.
Yeah, and while Burning might have used the BKB in that fight, that's up again in 30 seconds, but there's something on IG's side that's not up for 90 seconds, and that's a Phantasm that YYF threw out. So, effectively, losing one of their most important abilities to not even go in for that fight. And Burning.
Trouble! 2 seconds done, what a shackle! ROTK latches 2, quad ball is going to be pretty nice with the BKB. Lon DD, he's still got the Ravage, but he hasn't got it off yet. Chen nukes him down. First casualty of war is the tide. Now IG, they need the momentum. Waveform up, small stun screen by Ferrari. He's now very, very low on mana. He needs to keep fighting though, maybe the tier 2 tower. No, they don't have a creep wave with them. They're going to fall back. They've used a lot of their abilities, and DK hiding on that tier 2. Or are they? Are they? They're going to go in. Roshan's back at Half-Life now. Or are they waiting for DK to jump in on them? This is just a bait to say we are going. This power shot out by RTK. Reality Rift. Burning. Stuck but blinks out. Shackle on YYF. Destruction will save his life. Hand of gold from Chen. Super low life as well. Scream for Ferrari doing the job. Zippo's on low life. Zippo, he wants out. Will drop the open run to a YYF. He's still alive. Standing his ground. Ferrari picks him up the back. Buyback by Invoker. Buyback by CK. Ferrari does go down. Joe able to get himself a double kill. Triple kill on Anti-Mage. About to be an ultra kill for Burning. But no. He is Super claiming up Morphling, ending the dominating spree, and they're going back for Roshan. YYF still wants to stand his ground here. Chen leaves an Alpha Wolf, so he knows what's going on, but they just don't have enough to fight this anymore, and this is going to be Roshan for DK.
Yeah, Burning's going to get himself another Aegis the Immortal. What are we looking at for him now? 11 for nil on Anti-Mage. That's just been the story of this game right now. Amazing team fight, and even then, we just see how far ahead DK are now that they can take this fight without having the Ravage in the fight. Tidehunter's presence wasn't even there. It's very different if he even is there for a Gush and an Anchor Smash, but he wasn't even in that fight and they could still take it. Amazing to see Zippo's use of this freezing field. He's getting a lot of good Crystal Maiden ultimates off this ability. Very underrated should you manage to get it off. And Zippo, he just makes sure that the disables from IG go on the other heroes, and then he sees his opening to get off that freezing field. And once he uses that, it has two effects. First of all, it deals a lot of damage and slows, and secondly, they have to go on Zippo, because if they don't, they will all die. So redirecting the damage onto him, and he's a Crystal Maiden, so alright, if you want to kill me because I'm using freezing field, have fun with my free fighting Anti-Mage as well as Windrunner and Invoker going on you.
And man, you got to also point out RTK, those shackles have been so clutch in so many fights. Again, locking down YYF, sometimes 2 heroes. They got 3 major shackles off during that last engagement.
And that positioning, that's just also an amazing positioning to fight around this area for Windrunner. If you look at the way the area looks, there's so many trees to latch to, and the pathing the heroes will have to take to come into that area the fight took place in. You're almost guaranteed to be lined up because you're walking up a very, very small stairway, and you can't really avoid getting that double shackle on you, and DK just using the terrain to their advantage here.
IG going for another bit of a walk in the smoke. Thinking about going up to Secret Shop, see if they can find anybody there. Ward up for the high ground. Don't see anybody on that side. And YYF get up on that high ground really, really fast. Burning, he was nearby and buys up an Eagle Song now. So it's only about 1,200 gold away from his Butterfly, and DK will smoke and try to initiate. IG couldn't find anybody, and they're falling back. And they won't see this. There's no vision for them, even though they got a ward, and that might actually give them a bit of a false sense of security. In fact, DK going to go the long way around, just in case there is a sentry ward there.
Yeah, but I think IG knows that when Burning isn't showing anywhere on the map, okay, he could be in the woods, but right now they're very, very scared of smoke gangs, or are they? Joe, oh wow, this is going to be the TP of his life, TPing top right now. They were like half a second away from being able to reach him just then. But he does get up to top Joe, and this smoke is going to be wasted by DK as well. Or perhaps not, because they managed to get down to the bottom lane, have a decent push already, and Burning will immediately push this one together with ROTK, and they're looking at that tier 2 tower, and IG will be completely unable to defend this one. So they do get the tier 2 tower for this smoke.
Yep, and Burning even doing it for his team, just tanking up the tower so the creep wave stays alive a little bit longer. And there goes the last hit in the tower as well. Creep wave to farm up. That's going to force IG to defend their tier 3 on bot. Either that or, no, it's just DK baiting it out, trying to force the IG to fall back even when they don't need to.
Yeah, well, an IG, Burning now on DK has that Butterfly up in just a moment, so he's getting one new big item like every 5th minute on his Anti-Mage now, and we can't really say the same for the Radiant. Joe has got an ultimate orb in the last 10 minutes, I think, on his Morphling. I'm not sure if he even rebought, but he's just not been able to get the same kind of farm as Burning has, and not been getting the same stats, obviously 11 for nil on that Anti-Mage versus 7 for 3 on the Morphling. Don't get me wrong, he's played an amazing game, but it doesn't really compare to what DK's got going for them right now. 28 for 17, 35 minutes in. They've got the map control, they've got a 2-tower advantage, looking to press it to a 3-tower advantage now, and IG, they're going to really be in the back for Burning, really wants this.
Right at YYF, then pops up the Mana Star, nice EMP Tornado, just trying to push YYF back, and now with Chen will send him back. The disruption will keep him safe until then. completely out of mana. So more for the protection of his own team than for the CK. And the tower's going to go down in mid, just burning so much damage. And YYF returns full mana, full life. But DK aren't done yet. Zippo just getting nailed for a moment, but that Centaur instantly nuked down as well. And there goes Chen's army. It's out the window, and DK, they know they got pipe. They're going to pop it off too. Ravaged up on long DD, and then just beating down the tier 3 tower. Phantasm, great EMP tornado again by Super. 100% on the mark, and YYF, he's got 13 stick charges to pop, but DK, they're still controlling perfectly.
Yeah, they're just baiting out these spells. Again, the Phantasm from YYF completely wasted, and DK respect this. They know how powerful Phantasm can be, even though CK doesn't really have a lot of farm. He actually has very, very little. He's 1 for 7. He has got a Bracer and an Ogre Club and treads 36 minutes in on a CK. Around this time, you usually see some CK having a drum plus at least one more big item. But he's very, very underfarmed on that CK. But still, they respect the Phantasm, know the power of it, and they're like, okay, if you want to throw a 2-minute cooldown away, fine, we'll go back to farm. We know we get the farm off, and then immediately, all right, Phantasm's down, boys, let's get the smoke off, and let's try to find a kill. And they could be really, really tricked in mid right now. Yeah,
they could. There goes the EMP Tornado, and they are completely tricked. However, they should know this because they are still sitting inside smoke while walking right next to a Replicant. And IG already falling back, but the Replicant down means that Morphling doesn't have a lot to play around with, and Morphling actually out of position and no TP scroll here on Joe. He cannot get back in time. DK, this should be a very easy tier 3 tower. The courier is even flying one out. Actually, yeah, it is the TP. Now he can come back. Disruption going out and burning. Face already on low life. Pipe again by long DD. Chen can't get him back in time. Joe stuns up on long DD. Still that Ravage. Will he pop it right now? Yes, he will. Hits on Joe as well as YYF. Hand of God trying to keep him up. All the mana is almost gone from IG. Ferrari doesn't want to really have a full mana. YYF tries to come back in again. Look at the 2 hits. Down to half-life and the Frost and the power shot. Nice ulti there by Ferrari. But it's not enough, and he just jumps in behind, and that's going to be mid-racks. 3 heroes gone for IG. And I got to say right now, I don't think DK is going to want to leave this base, man.
Oh, I think they're going to stay until this game is over, because I feel like they can do it. Burning immediately, going for the next tower. GG!
DK take the first game, and you got to say pretty convincingly, 20k worth of experience advantage. It never really felt like IG got on top of this game. Like that top lane just didn't work for them.
No, and the graphs just show what I like to say about games. If one team never has advantage, it's really a one-sided affair. This one, DK has been, all right, there's been a few bumps up, but apart from that, DK has been getting constant advantage the whole game through, just gaining. IG tried those smoke ganks, didn't find the kills they were looking for, and DK's 4 Protect 1 strategy just working wonders here. Really solid game from them.
Yeah, that it was. Of course, it's only game 1 of 3. So in the meantime, before we kick off into game number 2, we go back to our experts panel and, of course, Bruno himself.
Thank you, Toby and Cinder. And so, yep, DK put the first score on the board in the final day here, taking a 1-0 advantage over IG. Pretty amazing game, guys. We kind of put some emphasis on burning, but I think everyone played absolutely fantastically. ROTK, fantastic. The Tidehunter, who was the Tidehunter? Was it YY? No,
Long DD.
Long DD, yeah, he was huge, actually. I mean, they really took it to IG very early on. They had a tri-lane up top. They were very aggressive. They got burning a lot of kills early on. And just as a team, they were picking up a lot of kills. I believe at one point, the Windrunner was 4-0 or the Invoker was 4-0. I'm not 100% sure, actually. No, I've forgotten. But I feel like every time that they gained a lot through the early game, they kind of kept Morphling down. They kept IG kind of back in their zone. And then when IG did come out, there were huge team clashes that were 100% dictated by the fact that one team had Leviathan, and the other team just had Chen to try and counter. While Chen's a very good counter for it, the Leviathan allowed all of their team to do so much spells. Invoker cast so many spells through all of those team fights, and Burning just got to go wherever he wanted.
Yeah, with that Chen sort of aggressive tri-lane out top, it just didn't work out against the Antimate CM Tide. Such a safe tri-lane. It was a really interesting setup. It led to a lot of kills, a really exciting game. I mean, you had Windrunner versus Queen of Pain at bottom. There was a lot of just solo kills going down there. Some fantastic play by both Ferrari as well as ROTK. Mid lane, you had the Morphling solo from Joe. He actually was very proactive on the map, rotating to bottom lane, ganking very early on when he gets a haste rune. Later on, TP's top, gets himself some kills up there. So very interesting that both teams kind of went out of their comfort zone.
Yeah, it was really exciting. There was a lot of aggro from both sides. I agree, Morphling as well as DK.
Yeah, and of course, Super on the Invoker really kind of shut down YYF there on the CK, just destroying him in some of the initiations. There were times where it looked like IG looked comfortable. They were going to push a tower. In comes a Tornado, EMP, YYF. Can't tank for his team, can't get stuns. and they have to back out.
Yeah, YYF actually got shackled about 5 times that game to his death. It was really unfortunate. He got shackled literally every single team fight. I think another big thing is Ferrari's Queen of Pain really had very little impact on the game. He ended up 3-5 and 9, but it felt like he missed probably 4 or 5 ultimates that hit literally nothing.
Yeah, so we can actually take a look at Ferrari as well and how he played here in the tournament. Ferrari from IG. Signature hero is Invoker, but of course played that Queen of Pain.
Yeah, it was a Queen of Pain. I mean, he got off to a really fantastic start, getting a kill on Winrunner where he actually survived on about 5 HP. Yeah. It was a fantastic moment for him. It was looking good. He then immediately suicides to neutrals, which is an intentional strategic thing so he can get back to the lane quicker with full HP, full mana. He should have been winning that lane from there on out, but Winrunner then, a couple minutes later, got a solo kill right back on him.
Yeah, I mean, a shackle shot to the tree on just about any hero can be devastating, but usually with the Queen of Pain and Blink, you're going to be okay in that situation, but he ended up dying.
Yeah, and of course, the Winrunner was played by ROTK, and we can take a look at the profile of ROTK and just... You want to highlight anything he really did well in terms of this game on his Windrunner?
Shackle shots.
Yeah, they're good when they hit, right?
And shackle shots. They always hit. Are you kidding?
On the final day, they do.
Yep.
What percent of shackle shots hit, Bruno?
I'm distracted. I just want to point out that his signature hero is the one where he's 0 and 6 with. Who wrote that stuff?
I believe it was actually you, Bruno.
Pretty sure you did that.
Also, yeah, Anti-Mage going up against Morphling again. Anti-Mage coupled with Crystal Maiden. We've seen that a few times that it's been successful.
Oh, it's been great. I mean, it's 7-3 the last 10 games, which might not seem too much, but 70%. You have to remember that most heroes underperform. Anti-Mage by himself is just barely about 50%. So just by getting a Crystal Maiden and laning them together, it gives you a 20% more chance of winning. That's a lot. Not 115%, but quite enough.
Still good. So any MVPs for game number 1?
It's close. Long DD or ROTK? I would actually go with ROTK. I feel like those shackle shots were the deal. Every time he hit one, it was essentially a black hole on 2 heroes.
I'm going to go with Long DD with that tie down. It was just always in the thick of things. Even when his Ravage was on cooldown, I mean, I remember Synderen mentioning it. He was just tanking up as much damage as possible, having a massive impact. And, yeah, really fantastic performance.
Anyone that shined for you, Bruno?
Zippo, 24 assists with a Crystal Maiden, a hero that averages 9.6 assists per game. He was all over the place with his ultimate. Spot on.
He just channeled his ultimate every single battle, and everybody was like, we're just going to let her do it.
Yeah, and of course, before we go into game 2, I think the players are taking a little bit more time today before they go into the match, just because of how important it is. I'm sure IG really want to talk about tactics, because they're one game away from being knocked out of the tournament and finishing 4th. When we talk about IG, anything you can see them doing for next match in terms of focusing on what heroes, focusing on players or bans and picks?
I think where it started to go wrong was the bans and picks. I mean, you mentioned Queen of Pain not getting to involve Chaos Knight as well. I mean, the Tornado MP, you really hit it right the nail on the dot there. He got taken out by all the mana drain from the Quasworks Invoker, from the Antimates, the Shackle Shots. This draft, every hero is just so perfect at Chaos Knight. You need YYF and hero which can have a bigger impact. Ferrari and the Queen of Pain couldn't get involved as well. All these heroes were forced to go BKB, but DK just took it to IG before they could even finish them.
Yeah, if you look at it, DK actually has almost perfect lineup for what they want to do. They have nice initiation off the Windrunner. They have Invokers from Super who's able to just dominate everything. And as long as they have a Leviathan and a big Ravage to kind of initiate all those team fights, DK Burning is going to have free reign. He can basically do wherever he wants. Obviously, he went to 1-1-1 this time, primarily because there was a Shadow Demon as well as a Morphling on the other side. And you don't want to get mana burned out. And of course, it does give him a lot of lane presence. So I think the draft was a pretty big deal here. I mean, I don't know if they need to ban Anti-Mage because Syllabear is so strong for burning as well, but this did not go well. All
right, and DK going into game number 2?
Yeah, I think more of the same, right? This is exactly what they want.
Yeah, these kind of heroes to me, it's not so much picking the Anti-Mage or even picking the Bear, it's the other heroes which they need to be comfortable with. Having the Windrunner and Invoker, those are 2 key heroes for them, and having a couple supports which are just really stable, like the Tide Hunter we see here with the CM of Zippo. They just, I mean, this is their comfort zone, and that's where you want to be when you're in a match of this much importance.
Yeah, and of course, we can take a look at some of the highlights from the games. There were numerous really good team fights that went back and forth, but DK did come out on top on most of them.
Yeah, this is the really prolonged one where IG are is smoked up here. They find Burning, but Burning's able to blink away before he gets Chaos Bolted. But then they decide to initiate. We see a Tornado EMP combo. Again, it catches YYF and immediately shackled. Pretty much the story of the game. He gets shackled every time. As we see their Quap ulti completely whiffing, hitting nothing. Burning does get focused, but he has the edges at this point, so they're not too worried about it. We see Tiber waiting out on that Ravage, being very patient about it. Power shot again here. We see another 3-second stun on Burning, but the Force Staff able to save him as, I mean, literally Windrunners everywhere in this game.
I think Tidehunter has cooldown on the Ravage.
Yeah,
he does.
he's
Toby
still
mentioned
in the
it's a good
middle.
10 seconds.
He's just waiting it out. He's not afraid to go in, even with the Ravage on cooldown. They do manage to take down Super here.
Another shackle.
Anti-Mage, unfortunately, it was only a 2-second stun. If that was a 4-second stun, that could have been the end for Burning. So not going IG's way, and then Anti-Mage comes back in. I mean, cleans up Queen of Pain, and things go horribly wrong here.
It's kind of impressive how long DK were able to prolong that battle, allowing the Ravage to come off cooldown. A lot of Tidehunters are kind of going to hang out there. They're like, oh, I don't have Ravage. Let's not do it. Where DK's like, no, let's just prolong this. We have Invoker. We have Windrunner. We can drag this team fight out pretty long. Burning had the Aegis. They weren't really afraid of that. And eventually the Ravage comes up. And the minute the Ravage is back up, the battle's over.
Yeah, and they had time to take out the Tidehunter, but maybe not possible. Another thing we should mention about that fight was YYF on the CK, despite getting opened up on losing all his initial mana, had a Chen Hand of God, Magic Wand, and pretty much actually was effective then. And that's really when you saw Ferrari come into play, because when YYF is there and actually just causing, trouble in the front lines, Ferrari has a lot more freedom, and he was picking up a kill. He got a kill onto Super, and unfortunately YYF in every team fight wasn't able to be as effective.
That was the one fight where I felt IG had a great chance. I mean, the Aegis was there. It was a 5v6 with the Aegis on the Anti-Mage, but they still managed to make it look good. The 2 seconds on the Anti-Mage was really unfortunate. If they'd got that kill on him, the fight would have gone the other way around. And maybe they were just a bit too afraid to focus the Tide, thinking he had the Ravage. They tried to avoid him. If they'd focused on the Tide, prevented him from getting that Ravage off, IG had a great chance of coming out on top. Yeah,
the worst thing you can do is focus a Levy, and then he still gets the Ravage. That's the worst idea. But yeah, 4 seconds stun would have been there. I feel like IG had a very defensive lineup. Shadow Demon and Chen, I mean, this prolonged survivability, but it didn't work out.
All right, then. So it does look like the teams are going to be ready to go into game number 2. But before we go there, I just want to once again ask the question, are IG going to be able to bring it back, or are DK going to be able to take it in 2?
I'm keeping the faith. I think IG's going to come back.
I've got to agree. I mean, we've seen a lot of teams come back from this 1-0 deficit. I think IG are going to do it once again.
What are they going to change?
The draft, man. The draft did not go their way. I feel like it was very poor for them.
I think IG is feeling a bit disheartened. They lost with Navi and now this loss, but they have to have hope. They have to have faith, most importantly, because they can't play with only 4 players.
Luckily, they do have faith.
They have plenty of faith.
All right, very good. All right then, guys, so we're going to get ready to go into game number 2. If IG lose, they are out of the international here on the final day. If DK win, they're all the way through. But IG is still in it. Let's see if they can bring it back to a 1-1 game as we go back to the commentators.
That's right. Welcome,